Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ghostmet Gaming with me, Christopher, and we're back with Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition and my first playthrough of the game. Well, last time we finished off, I think, in the brothel, although I had to cheat the game a little bit. I picked up the quest from Juliet, and my solution was to kill Montag, but apparently that is not something that the game recognizes, so I was a bit locked out of that quest. So I had to do a little bit of console commanding to fix it. Well, actually not so much console commanding. Actually, there is a standalone program that you can use to sort of alter states of quests. It worked, you know, I could finish the quest, and I will say, this is not something I normally do. However, in this occasion, I think that I was justified in doing it, simply because the fact that I solved the problem. I just flat out killed them, but the game didn't recognize that. When I talked to Juliet, I should have had an option to say that, you know, Montag is dead. He rose up against me. He wanted to defend his love for you, and, you know, he died doing so. And, yeah, I didn't get the option to end that quest, so I feel justified in my decision, let's just say. So, there's that. Oh, you just spawned into existence, didn't you? So, what are we going to do today? Well, first off, I'm probably going to go and have a bit of a rest, because everyone is looking rather defeated, let's just say. I went into the sort of underbelly of the clerk's ward, and there were horrible creatures in there who were very, very tough to kill. So not only am I down on health, I've also used a lot of my spells. So a bit of rest to get everything back, and I think we're off to Lothar's again, because we got information from Lothar, and now we have more information, so maybe he is able to help us. However, before we do that, I kind of want to do this one. We are looking for rubies, a spell ruby, and there is a ruby statue in the curiosity, no, not the curiosity shop, the art gallery thing. I'm gonna try and see if the curiosity shop has something for me to solve that issue. Maybe I can sort of break it in some way. We shall see. I'm gonna start with, well, I'm gonna start with a nap, so just so you know that. I'll start with a nap, and then we shall go to the art gallery and just have a bit of another look at the ruby statue thing, so I sort of have the information I need before I go to the curiosity shop. So let's do just that. Right, back inside the art gallery, and let's have a bit of a look again at this thing. So there's a brilliant ruby statuette on the pedestal, either demonic or angelic in nature, but difficult to tell which, because of the refracting light. No plaque indicating what exactly. Okay, not too much information there. Let's have a bit of a chat with Ivana about that. I have... yes, I do. I would like to do, let's see here, the ruby statuette. The piece was found in a cathedral in the fertile fields of Elysium on the first layer Amoria the Untroubled, where it bordered the river Oceanus. The name of the piece is not known, but its skill and craftsmanship are believed to be one of the most striking examples of gem crafting in the plains. The mere way in which the piece captures, distills, and enhances the light through the facets is part of its breathtaking wonder. It seems to bring to light the possible ideological connection between even the most evil and the purest being in the multiverse. Fascinating. I concur, that is very, very fascinating. Now let's see if I can break it. Because I would like a piece of it. I would like a tiny little piece of it to bring over to the mage. So it's back to the curiosity shop and see if there's anything that she sells that could be of use. So let me rifle through this thing. Actually, nothing. Nothing that I could say would be sufficient to do anything with that, sadly. Oh, well. Well, that's a bit of a shame, actually, but it is what it is. I'm not going to under sigil, not at all. No, we're going to Lothar, and we're going to see if my acquirement, or the acquisition, maybe I should say, the acquisition of a piece of Ravel will actually help me get into her maze. I have no idea if I'm actually ready for this, like level-wise, but I don't really have much else to go on at this point. So let's do just that. So he was he in the wrecked house? Yes, he's in the wrecked house. Well, let's hope that he actually even wants to talk to us, because if he doesn't, well, I'm not entirely sure exactly what to do. Right,
Chief,
let's...
I won't fail you again, I swear.
Oh, it's fine. He is not even here. Oh. Well. Okay. Is he here? Here he is. Fancy. Good. Fancy. Good. Right. I don't need healing. More questions. So, this doesn't look good, does it? Okay. Tell me about Rebel. I've already done all of this. Yes, I've already asked her. Okay, this is actually not good. What do we do now then? Okay, well, no, he doesn't want to talk to me, obviously. Huh. Okay. Lothar suggested next station my journey might be to journey to the sea. Festhall, where someone may be able to tell me more. Who notably stole my mortality from me. I've talked to Quell, and he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Have I missed someone in there? I don't think that this is, you know, relevant to the main quest, and obviously this isn't either. I have no idea who you are, so I have no idea what to do with you. Well, okay. Okay. I don't know what to do. There's no entry point to this place, the siege tower. Don't feel like I need to do anything with that. Huh. I've done all of these, I believe. Huh. Okay. Well, let's make it back to the Festhall then and see if I have indeed missed anyone to talk to there. Well, nothing so far. I've been listening to the lectures, one here, and one here, and although a lot of text, nothing really coming out of it. This guy talked a lot about the Blood War, you know, it's interesting if you want to know about that. This guy here talks about the alignments, which is interesting because as of now, I'm still true neutral, which I don't necessarily want to be, but I am. And this guy talked about death, and I showed him a thing or two about dying and coming back. Kind of funny, and Mort was being a little bit of a bastard, interrupting the lecture all along. So, nothing yet. One place, however, that I haven't been to, that is to say, I have been here while looking for solutions to my Montauk problem. I don't know exactly why I went here, but I did. Apparently this is my room right here. Somehow this is my room, or I've paid for it at some point. There are a fair number of spells, so let's pick some of those up. I can't because my... so that is a Scroll of Shield, Global Force Suppressor Caster. That is Scroll of Friends. Once shows beauty, charisma is oftentimes the key, blah blah blah. 2 to 8 points of charisma, which is nice. Then we have a Scroll of Blindness, which is not bad, but also not super good. And having picked up that, Dakon, do you need anything from here? Yes, you do. You need Pacify. Don't know if I have that, actually, but whatever. Let's pick that up. So we have some stuff here. We have some embalming fluids, needle thread, a stiletto, some random charms, and also a door which is locked. Can I open this up?
Might as well.
Yes, I can.
All right.
Fancy. So what is in here? More spells. Fire and ice scroll, as well as a dodecahedron. Do I need a dodecahedron? Actually, having a dodecahedron about the size of both your fists both together seems inexplicably familiar to you. Its texture is cold and smooth, but whether it's metal or stone you cannot tell. A certain almost intangible tension runs over the object, as if it were ready to spring into the air at any moment. Okay, let's use it. Okay, the blah blah blah, that is the same text. Examine it closely. Upon closer examination, you realize that each side of the dodecahedron is a plate that can be twisted clockwise or counterclockwise. It appears to be a puzzle box or combination lock. As each of the pentagonal plates has 5 possible positions, the dodecahedron has no less than 244,140,625 settings. It would take every second of the next 77 odd years to hit all the combinations, but then you might just get lucky and stumble into a solution in minutes. Let's try and get lucky, bloody hell. As you methodically twist the cold grey facets of the dodecahedron, a strange sensation forms at the base of your skull. Your hands seem to move of their own accord, turning the object and spinning its facets with mechanical precision. You've done this before, you knew the combinations once. You also become aware that there is a certain danger within the object. Whether it's from simple traps or something less mundane, though, you cannot tell. I'll apparently keep working on it, even though there's some danger, but fine. In moments, you have what might be the first 4 sides locked into their proper places. As you begin to twist the 5th side of the dodecahedron, you recall a cunning blade trap that would snap out to lash at a meddler's hands, slashing the wrists and severing fingers. You avoid the trap with the proper number of rotations, certain that you made progress in the unraveling of the object's secret. Continue. After avoiding the dodecahedron's springing blaze, you slowly puzzle out the next series of fastest positions. As you start to turn the 9th side of the dodecahedron, do they have to put this name in all the time? It's fine enough to say, but it's a bit of a tongue twister. You suddenly remember a second trap. Jets of toxic gas that would form a billowing cloud of lethal corrosive vapor around the curious meddler. You circumvent the trap with the correct amount of twist, positive that you've nearly unlocked the dodecahedron. Now, what could this possibly contain with so many traps? Isn't this just a thing full of traps? But sure, let's keep working. You circumvent the dodecahedron's poisonous gas trap and begin your work on the final facet positions. Just as you're locking the 12th pentagon into place, you recollect sorcerer's runes hidden within the dodecahedron that would blast the unwitting holder of the bolts of magical lightning. After disarming the trap with the correct number of facet rotations, the dodecahedron clicks and begins to open in your hands. And it splits open twice and eventually unfolds itself impossibly into a perfect rectangular tablet, the size of a large book. Etched into the surface is a series of bizarre symbols. It looks to be a code or language that you feel should be familiar to you, but it's not. Further examination of the tablet reveals that, by twisting the pentagonal facets that are now upon the underside of the tablet, different pages may be displayed across the tablet's face. You finally realize that the dodecahedron is a tome of journal of some sort. Ooh, is this my journal by any chance? Is this my journal? I've been looking so long for it. Okay, well, I apparently need to learn this language.
Updated my journal.
Okay. So, learn the language. Ooh, here we go. Perhaps there's a scholar linguist in the Festhall. Aha, we can have a bit of a look at that. Sure. We also have a Fire and Ice. That is indeed level 5. That's good. A red sphere of fire and ice, a red sphere of fire and a blue sphere of ice shall streak forth. 2 crystal spheres. Upon impact, the red sphere explodes into a fireball and does 3 to 18 points of fire damage. And the blue sphere explodes in the same area effect, 3 to 8 of cold damage. A successful spell halves the damage. Now that, my friends, sounds very, very interesting. But I don't have level 5 spells just yet, so not interesting right now, but that is interesting. And that was it for that one. And there's also a small container at the back here, secretly hidden away, has about 300, or rather exactly 383 copper commons. So yeah, this was apparently my room. It's interesting that I have a room from before, so to speak. And one thing that I would like to do, as a matter of fact, because I'm sort of thinking that it might be a point here, the bronze sphere. There is something inside this bronze sphere. I think it's time that we had a bit of a look. Everyone is rested up in case there's something bad in here. Let's examine the sphere here. And although its basic appearance is normal enough, this sphere somehow manages to offend the rest of your senses. The texture of the sphere, just the feel of it, gives you the impression that it's an egg. This is about to burst open. So, I can't do anything else, apparently. Well, that's sad. Okay, well, I couldn't do anything about that then. Since this is maybe my room, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna start storing some things away here. My intestines can be there, yes. We'll store that, we'll store that. Some merc. We'll keep this. We'll keep Finn's book as well. Who else has some stuff that we would like to keep? Both Dakon and Anne is the answer to that. So I'm gonna work now on the assumption that this is one of the containers in the game that I can actually make use of. So some Tears of Sorrow, the mortuary key, can't do anything about that one. Let's just clear out some of these things. Anna's vest, I'll save that. Also save the beer goggles, and we have, yeah, I've picked up some keys. This is a tenement, no, that's a tenement storeroom key, Festhall room, right, the Festhall room key, that's for this place. We also have a small red key that I picked it up in the tenement, but I have no idea what that is for. Presumably I've already opened the correct door for that. There is also another room here with a sensate, or several sensates, sadly, which means that I can't really do anything about the stuff in there. I don't know, was this room? Well, this room was not with anyone in it. So that's good. Let's unlock stuff here. The rest of it is fine, but let's have her look for traps for now. Let's see if there's anything before we continue. Seems to be fine. More money, which is good actually.
Might as well.
Let's go here, more money and some stuff to sell. This seems to be without contents. Yep, that's fine then. And there's another room right over here. Some portraits of something vaguely humanoid, apparently. As well as a courtyard outside of the window. And this apparently also seems like something. I'm not going to bother closing the door. It's fine. There we go. And it seems like there's nothing of danger here.
Done.
Anything fun in here? Just more money.
I'm gone.
Right. That language, an unfulfilled desire is a person here, by the way. Who's unfulfilled desire? And there's a woman who stands before me, who is incredibly attractive. Some intangible aura about her that makes you want to speak to her. As you step up to her, she glances at you coyly. Then she gives a knowing smile. Hello. You want something, yes? Or are you a snake? She hisses the yes, drawing it out slowly, sensually from between her teeth. I can help. Name your desire and I shall provide it. I love the Festhall, says Mort. The woman ignores Mort, her eyes locked with yours. And she smiles away to your response. Oh, can I just ask for things? Well, that's cool. But I want some knowledge, actually. She frowns, looking away from you for a moment. Knowledge. Such a thing I do not seek to deal in. Surely you have some other need you can speak to me of. Well, okay, let's go for my memories. And much may be forgotten in a lifetime, and much more in several lifetimes. I can help you, she says. Explain to me the ways in which you want these memories. Speak to me your craving, and I shall speak to you of the price. Okay. Well... So can you, yeah, let's actually ask her if she can prove to me that she can actually help me with this. She doesn't seem to move, but suddenly her hand is touching your forehead, her finger dragging along your temple. Only this. You feel as if the fog in your head has been peeled away briefly, enough to catch a glimpse of remembrance. Ooh. Only this, only tell me why you desire it. Speak to me your craving, etc., etc. So I'll describe something, apparently. As you speak, her smile fades and she leans forward attentively, her eyes ravaging your features as you speak. Her presence compels you to speak more than you normally would, and after a few moments her eyes flutter closed as she gives a sharp intake of breath. Suddenly, the desire for your memories begins to wane. Your want slowly drains out of you, leaving only cold emptiness. Oh, this is bad. What's wrong? You no longer want your memories returned? Well, no, I mean, what did you do to me? Did she suck out my desire? That's interesting. Whatever do you mean? Despite her innocent demeanor, you're certain something unnatural has occurred. She has somehow siphoned off some part of your desires, stolen away from some ghastly collection of wants, or perhaps to feed upon. Had you finished speaking of your desire, you certainly would have been lost forever to you. So, come now, is there anything else you want then? Probably not, that was odd. And probably, should I not have done that? Maybe I shouldn't. Why does it look like there are 2 exits here? Because there isn't, I think. That's weird. Oh, it's an exit. It says an exit here. Oh, it just leaves me back. Oh, right, because you can get down here, I would assume. All right. Who would be able to tell me anything about languages? Not you. Well, would the guy... it doesn't seem reasonable that you would know anything about that. No, I don't think that that's going to be interesting, though. Okay, who could tell me about languages? We don't have anyone in here to speak to, I don't think. In here, we had Barrior. Still can't talk to you. And I would assume that this guy, Mrs. Geises the Crooked, don't really seem like much of a linguist, do you? So who could be the person to talk to about languages? Yolmi? No, you don't want to talk to me. Mertwin the Headless. Okay, touch me. Yes, can you understand me? No, no head for you. Do we have a head in the curiosity shop? I don't think we do, but there's also a... Oh, what would you know? Force missiles just chilling out here. Doesn't seem to be stealing, so I'll just take that for myself. We have Quasi. Do we get anything from you? What do you do here? That is just combat. We have stone. Indeed, I think I've already got this one. About this place. No, you were also not the person to talk to.
All right.
Okay, well, let's go to some of the sensoriums then. Were there any... could we buy anything from here? Well, we can buy stuff, but I don't really want that. Questions. Is there... you, Splinter, Festhall, Society of Sensation... Okay, well, sensoriums. Let's start with the public one.
I'm gone.
Let's start with the public one. I don't know if there's... we had Lady Thorncombe. Did I talk to you before? I think I should have. Let's see here. Oh, maybe not, actually. Company middle-aged woman wondering about dreamily absent-mindedly chewing on her thumbnail. Rising is focused on nothing in particular, and she's dressed in elegant yet disheveled finery, and her hair is slightly tousled. And as we talk to her, she takes her thumb from her mouth, smoothing back a strand of hair is falling in front of her eyes. I have questions. Okay, about you. Speaking to ask you a question, you realize she's not looking at you, let alone paying you any attention. Hello. Very well. Again, I want to ask about you. Okay, we can't do that. About the place. No, okay, so she's not anyone to talk to. And I don't think there were any interesting people in any of the rooms, were there? No, I don't think so. Nope, nothing here. And I don't think the Sensate guys are gonna help me with any of this. That is just sensations, etc. No, no, no. Right, let's get back to the private rooms and have a bit of a look there. See if there was anyone that I can talk to in there. Again, I'm gonna talk to Quell one more time because it feels like he should talk to me. I don't want to buy candy. Who are you? I am Quell, etc, etc. Indeed, I brought a chocolate to you. Don't you know? You have me there. Sharks and eats another candy. Alright, fair enough. You don't know anything else again. I want to find her. But she's not, rather he's not helping me here. This is exactly the same thing as I did before. Well, I don't know, I'll figure something out. Can I get into the maze? I really want your help. Okay, how am I supposed to get in? No, he's not gonna help me. He's not gonna tell me anything about languages. And there's really no one here either. So who could it be that can help me with languages in here? Have I missed something? I really don't know. Okay. So everything is turning into just dead ends everywhere, isn't it? I did want to talk to, I just wanted to check a thing inside the brothel. Since I was sort of approved for being a sensate, can I do anything with the stones from the women in here? I mean, probably won't, simply because of the fact that they are personal. So we shouldn't be able to do that, but I still want to just have a quick look at it and see if there's any way I can use them. So if I go over here and click, nope, still can't do anything about that. And yeah, there's nothing else in here. Was there any one of these who were
Done.
Versed in language? I was about to say they are all versed in languages, but I mean languages specifically. Nothing from Vivian. This is all closed up for now, apparently. Who is in the rooms? Do we know anyone who is in the rooms? Or are they all out? Delora, are you versed in... How can you serve me? Okay, well, I'm able to debate in a scholarly or academic manner quite proficiently, if it is your wish. I'm also well versed in various games of strategy. Well, what about debate? That is correct. I'm neither a tome nor a tutor. I have no desire to educate my patrons. Should you have a matter to discuss, however, the 15 factions and their effect on Sigillian politics, the most effective battle strategies for warring on Archeron, the meaning of existence itself, I would be most pleased to choose a counterpointing issue in debate. Okay, let's do that then. You choose a topic and begin. The debate lasts a long time, and the two of you exchange points and counterpoints, each attempting to methodologically undermine the other's position. As you speak, a strange feeling begins to come over you. Ooh, I get a memory from this. Memories of a great hall begin to form your mind. A vast place full of well-dressed elites. A formal ball was taking place. Before you was a small, impeccably dressed fellow who wore a golden medallion. It was emblazoned with a symbol you dimly recall as a sign of one. The two of you stood in a circle of onlookers who've gathered to listen to your debate. But that's impossible, the man was saying, looking perplexed. It's not her who's saying this, but whatever. Oh, but it is, you recall yourself replying. I made several inarguable points and give you a number of examples you simply don't exist. But you can't, but do I accept that I'd... Yes, you'd cease to exist. And without a flash of light or puff of smoke, with no fanfare of any sort, the man's simply gone. That's not exactly how debates work, but I guess in this world anything is possible. The onlookers oohed and ahed. Some clapped, you remember giving a flourishing bow and walking away, a small satisfied smile upon your lips. You suddenly realized Dolores is watching you closely. Are you feeling well? We might finish our discussion another time, should you like. No, let's keep going. As hard-pressed as you are to beat Alora's infallible sense of logic, you eventually win out. She merely nods in approval. You are a most skilled debater. This there is no denying. I do feel, though, that had I time to perform some research, you might not have bested me. I mean, that's true. Well, you know, it might be an unfair advantage in some ways. If you would like, we can debate once more upon the same topic. I could argue your position this time, should you desire it. Ooh, well that's interesting. Ooh, let's see what we can do here. Well, Mr. Grace instructed me to show no mercy, for another of our student always allows a patron to win after a lengthy debate. It was Mr. Grace's desire that I provided a different sort of experience for the clientele. Okay, so what about a game then? Are we gonna play Risk? Well, of course, is there anything in particular you wish to play? I really don't remember games. Well, here then, allow me to show you one. A thin lacquered box unfolds into a small board marked with a grid. Cause of the box to be a number of polished stone ships, half of them black, half of them white. The game goes by many names. Shall I explain the rules? Absolutely. And she explains the rules of the game. The rules are simple, yes, but a great deal of complexity lies within the game itself. It takes a great deal of time to master. Shall we play? Absolutely. As you play, you come to realize that you've done so before. You recall various ploys and strategies that have won you previous games and employ every trick you know to beat her. Suddenly, a strange feeling comes over you. A memory. Well, this was not exactly what I planned, but fair enough. Memories of a smoke-filled field of battle began to fill your mind atop a great hill overlooking the fighting you sat, mounted atop a massive four-legged beast. The braying of horns carried your orders to the troops below. Even as you watched, your forces divided, fleeing left and right as the foreign army fought its way up to the hill to slay the enemy lord, you. The fools, you had thought, lips curling into a wicked smile. My knights shall charge down the hillside and stop their advance in an instant, and at that very moment my retreating footmen will fall in to crush their flanks. Ah, yet another victory soon to be mine. You suddenly realize that Delora is watching you intently, and again asking me if I feel well. So Delora plays excellently, counteracting all but your most crafty moves, but eventually your feats and calculated maneuvers win over her well-crafted strategies. She nods approvingly as she begins to put the game away. You are a fine player, perhaps a master. I commend you for your skill. Well, I mean, thanks, but you seem to be very, very mercilessly here. And indeed, it's the same thing here from Mistress Grace. Okay. Well, more about your nature. We've already asked about this, and I think nothing more about Lady Puzzlewell and nothing more about languages. Echo, do you have anything to go tell me about? No, nothing there. Kasai Cerise, are you even happy with me? Okay, well, I don't really dream, so that's fine. I had questions, though. What are you doing? You're a student, I know about that. No, I don't think there's anything else here. We also have Nenny. What are you doing here? No, nothing else there. Chances are not, by the way, that Kimashi here is gonna be friendly with me. And what are you doing here? No, nothing of the sort. You are just a patron. That's empty. That's empty, and we only have... what if we forgot her name? She's actually... Is she not here? No, she is here. Here we go. Marissa. And, do you know anything about anything? Curious to hear your thoughts. No? Okay, fair enough. No one here either. And the thing is, when I was doing all the stuff with Juliet, I came to learn that actually Fall from Grace is supposed to be a part of some quest line here, and it doesn't seem as if that quest line really has worked, which is a bit annoying. Let's talk to her a bit. Lost my memories, etc. What can I slap? I think I've already talked to you about this, and indeed, Dustman thought I was dead. Yes, touch me. And that's my scars. Yes. I need to get my memories back and my life back. Yes, that's my job. Okay. Forgetting education is intriguing. Well, it's frightening, more like I don't like knowing who I am, or not knowing who I am. Indeed. No. You have not offended me necessarily. I accept your apology.
Updated my journal.
Was that something new? You're working toward the brothel. Several students are well versed in verbal arts, etc. I don't exactly know what I did there. What did I feel like I did? And right, sure, I did some of that actually. So you are correct in that I got some memories back from that. And I'm probably not going to be able to get her to join me just yet. And they are still having their issues. That's the way I am, apparently. Indeed, wouldn't you be interested in traveling with an immortal Amnesiac who's searching the place for himself? Well, that is apparently extremely interested in that. Right, if you wish me to, then there is something you must do for me. Oh! Wow, okay. There we go. I was supposed to do this way earlier. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, well, if you wish me to, there is something you must do for me. There are 10 students in the establishment that would like to speak to all of them. Return to me with your thoughts. Okay. I shall do that. Journal. Have I not done this? Have I not done this? Or maybe I have to do I have to do it again? No, here we go. I spoke to 900 students as you said, but I could not find the 10th. There we go. This is... Yeah, I've already done everything, which is sort of the thing. This is what you do. You do all the quests for them, and then you find out everything about them, and here we are. Yeah, and you could not find the 10th student. How curious. Well, would Louise really be a 10th student? That doesn't seem right. I guess it could be me in some way. Well, very well, and your thoughts? Okay, I can be very upfront here and say that you and I should leave this place and explore the plains. Nothing more for either one of us to experience here. Well, I've also learned what it means to aspire to be a sensate, and that it's better to go and search for experience rather than have it come to you. You should get rid of all the armors in the brothel and use them as firewood. I like that answer. No, we're not going to go for that one. Teaching within a sheltered environment such as this only harms the student, and the planes themselves are often the best teacher. Oh, this is... Well, this is rather tricky. Okay. I mean, this feels rather dismissive. Like she's almost chosen wrongly here by remaining. This also doesn't necessarily feel correct. But I guess, I mean, in some ways I feel that this might be the correct one. I say correct, there might not be a correct one. Yeah, it might be better to search for experience rather than to just sit around and wait for it. Well, this is... I hope I'm not sort of losing her if I choose the wrong answer here. I'm gonna go for that one. Well, very well, I will travel with you if you still desire my company. Okay, I apparently did the right thing.
Oh, Mistress High and Mighty'll be joining us. What do we need her for?
You couldn't possibly understand.
I wish she would fall from great height. I might even bump her off myself.
Aw, Anna doesn't really like her. But we have a new companion. You are... here we go. Finally, a priest. I have healing powers. Finally. You have some earrings. Resistance to magic. You have a chastity bodice. Oh, okay. Fun. Prim and proper appearance, it does little to detract from Grace's sensuality. The bodice possesses no known powers other than some minor enhancements that prevent it from becoming dirty and repair some minor tears in the fabric. Wow, okay. And you are just... Oh, you have a touch, which is apparently is fist. Grace's basic attack does slight slashing damage. And you also have a diary. Book looks like it's been made from paper-thin silver sheets. The engraving of a woman is on the cover of the text, and there's a small lock on the side of the book. No matter how you try, the lock resists your attempt to open it. Why am I rifling through her personal possessions while it's on her? Don't know. So you are indeed a priest, a succubus female. Where's your horns? Succubus usually have horns, don't they? Oh well. Higher charisma, which is fair. And you are indeed a sensate, Society of Sensation. I should probably get to join a faction at some point, shouldn't I? You are the Free League, the In-Depths. Not terribly bad choice. And you two are not in any factions. Okay. Bit of strength. You don't have terribly good stuff, do you? Do you have... No, we cannot tattoo you. You only have rings, hand, wrist, and earrings. No tattoos for you. Okay, fair enough. But we need to look at something which is your priest spells. So, let's see here. Blessing. +1 to +8, that's the same as Bomber's Gate, Cure Light Wounds, as well as Protection from Evil. We'll remove that one, just get more healing. Thank you. In level 2 we have Aid, +1 to hit and say +1 to saves on... what does this do? An ally, okay. 1 to 8 more hit points. What is ordinary hit points, etc, etc. Cool. We have Cure Moderate Wounds as well as Spiritual Hammer. Remove that one. Don't care about that for now. In level 3, no healing, but we have Call Lightning. Okay. 1 bolt of electricity, hurling it down upon our enemies for 2 to 16 points of electrical damage, etc, etc. And Prayer. +1 to attack damage and saving throws to all who are friendly to the priest. Those who are hostile to the caster suffer -1. That's good. We also have Flame Walk. A single target +2 to saving throws against fire-based attacks. Okay. And also remove Curse, which I have myself. And also Speak with Dead. I don't need that. I already can do that myself. I actually am going to remove Call Lightning. You don't need to do damage, but you can have that. And you also have Cure Serious Wounds. Finally, we have a bloody priest. And you can be at the end. That's okay. So, as we have some time left, let's have a bit of a chat with you immediately. Let's see if you have something to tell me. So, about Tanari, here we go. Let's have a bit of a questionnaire here. The Tanari are fiends, some call them demons. They have embraced evil for chaos' sake. They dwell upon the poison plains of the abyss, where they feed on their own rage and lash out across the multiverse, despoiling all they touch. They forever seek to tempt others into committing crimes of passion and vice. And are you an actual Tanari then? Well, that is correct. I am a lesser Tanari, more specifically a succubus. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with various pressures of the flesh. Well, do you? I like to think that I've distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There's much more to life, wouldn't you agree? Yes. Probably. Right, and the Fall from Grace. How do you get by that name? The meaning of names are a complicated subject. There is much to be said and a great deal that is better left unsaid. Well, is it your real name? Perhaps, and perhaps not. There are names which are given and names which are earned. Who's to say which is the real one? Okay, I think the name which is earned carries a greater weight. Name that is given is a greater name. Yeah, I might go for earned. Because it seems like a universe where names are indeed earned, aren't they? That may be so. Why do you think that? Because a name that is earned is not arbitrary. A name that is earned tells of what you've accomplished. And your point is well taken. So, again, fall from grace. Would it matter? It is an earned name. I would like to know how you came to be called that. And I have fallen from my people. Some would say risen from my people, perhaps, but fall feels more right to me. Does that make sense? Well, probably yes, depending on whose viewpoint you are looking at it from. And indeed, fall might carry an underlying sense of loss. And yes, perhaps that is why I felt as it did. I came to terms with the loss long ago, but the name has remained. So are you actually sure about that? And she meets my gaze and I am again struck by the brilliant shade of blue of her eyes. I had thought so. Yet, in speaking to you, you have caused me to realize some things. You have my thanks. Well, you know what? I'm here to talk if you want to. Well, you're most kind. I will do so. So, other questions then. So, what's your take on the Sensates? The Sensates are the faction of Sigil that are devoted to experience. Without experience, most sensation, we are blinded to much of the multiverse. Thus, Sensates seek to experience as much as possible. When all is experienced, the truth of the multiverse shall reveal itself. So how could I join them? To join the Sensates, one needs only to be a student of life. Well, I mean, I want to join the actual faction. Well, of course, forgive my teasing. If you wish to join the Sensates, I would inquire at the Festhall. Someone there should be able to help you. Okay. So what about the art, apparently? Can you teach me something? No, I don't believe so. The art and the disciplines I practice are different. Okay. So what exactly do you mean by that? My powers, as you see them, stem from my faith, not from manipulating energies as the art does. The art is a mechanism, by which the power of the multiverse may be harnessed through gestures, rituals, and devices. My powers comes to me through different means. My faith and the nature of my belief allows some of the multiverse to reveal itself to me. So the nature of belief, what is it that you actually believe in? Of course, we probably should have guessed that, in experience. I believe a person may be changed for the better the more of the multiverse they are allowed to perceive, and the more the multiverse is allowed to perceive them. My belief in the nature of experience allows me to... I suppose the best explanation is that my faith allows me to see things differently. When you see the multiverse in such a way, you learn how to change things, mending wounds, seeing a person's heart, and so on, just by willing them to happen. Okay, but yeah, it does seem like spells. So do you like have a spell book? No, my spells, as you call them, they come to me after I rested and centered myself. When I sleep and awaken, I can focus myself once more. The amount of faith required to change the multiverse around me can be quite taxing on the psyche, I'm afraid. Just being able to see how to change things is not enough. You must have the strength to make the change happen.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So, what about my companions? What about me? What do you think about me? What are your feelings here? A lady must have her secrets. Okay. Well, I mean, I still would like to know. Well, anything special? Well, shadows keep coming to kill me, and I have a feeling they're following me, but I don't know why. I think there's someone to murder me, so I should build a tomb trap to try and kill them. According to an inscription in the tomb, it's been coming after me for, well, as long as my incarnations can remember, it seems. Well, let's talk about the shadows. And shadows are shades of the dead. They do not tend to hunt. They tend to lie in wait for victims. Okay. So what about the murder thing? Then whoever the killer is, he's lived a very long time to have pursued you so long. Could the killer be immortal as well? Possibly. Okay, nothing more right now. What about Mort? We don't really need to talk about you, I think. Well, I probably should, because, you know, every single thing you talk about in this game apparently opens up things. Mort is most peculiar. I've seen a great deal in my life, but nothing quite like him. He behaves somewhat like a mimir. Granted, there is no denying he's knowledgeable, but he has a certain Batorian smell about him. What does that mean? Well, it's not a Batisu, at least not any variety I've encountered. The smell alone, however, makes me treat the skull with caution. Okay. Well, my apologies. Bator is one of the outer planes, the home of a race of fiends called the Batisu. They are evil creatures, yet they are organized and lawful in many of their behaviors. Some might call them devils. They believe in contracts and hierarchy. In many ways, they are like evil bureaucrats. By any chance, is Mort the killer? By any chance, is Mort the killer? I would not be surprised if he is. Yeah, but about the Batorian smell, what does that actually mean? Well, he's not a Batisu, at least in any variety, etc, etc. So what's a Mimir then? Mimirs are encyclopedias of knowledge. The owner may ask them questions, and if they possess the knowledge, they will inform the user of what it knows. Could Mimir, or rather Mort, be a Mimir? I don't believe so. Mort lacks the silver metal that Mimirs customarily have, and he seems to have an attitude of his own. Such qualities are not present in the conventional Mimirs. He may be one, but he's unlike any I've ever encountered. I could say I believe he is. I mean, have you gotten any reason to believe that he knows a lot? I don't know. Let's not choose anything here. What about Anna? She's strong and capable, and she's quite passionate. I almost wish I had met her long ago and asked her to come to the brothel. Perhaps things might have been different. What do you think of her? Yeah, she doesn't really care about you. We've heard that, I would agree. But I should not let you dodge my questions so easily. What do you think of her? I might actually fall in love with her, because we have already had some private fun time. Well, you might wish to tell her so. Well, maybe. Indeed, I have reasons to maybe not profess love to people, because people around me tend to die. Well, I will say this. Love may move the planes themselves when it's strong and true. There's nothing truer in all of my experiences than the truth about how one feels about another. Okay, fair enough. And lastly then, Dakon. He's most uncommon for a Gitsurai. Well, how so? Well, he obeys you. That alone would mark him as a pariah among his people. His entire race were once slaves, and even the reminder of servitude to them is distasteful. And anything else about him? Well, he approaches everything in an orderly fashion. Again, most curious for a Gitsurai. They tend to be unpredictable. They follow their impulses rather than plan. And what else? He seems a most pious Gitsurai and a steadfast ally. He very much is. So, okay, fair enough. What about you? Me? Really? Very well. If there's anything you're curious about, please ask. So, feelings about me. And that is basically exactly the same as before. Right, could you tell me what you think I am? I freely admit that you're something of an enigma, but I find such measures intriguing. Should I attempt to puzzle out your situation? Yeah, sure. First, well, it is possible that you are a tiefling or some rare crossbreed. My guess is that you are human, or were at one time. There may be something else that would shed light on my situation. Okay, never mind. Go on. Your appearance is approximately a male in his early 30s. The stitching of scar tissues make an exact determination difficult. Yep, tell me about it. The key to our past is in your memory, and it seems that certain locations, events, and people trigger seemingly forgotten memories. It would seem to be in your best interest to visit as many locations as possible and speak to as many others as possible. In short, experience your universe in as much as possible. So yeah, the sensei's advice, huh? Probably. Well, I would not advise it if I did not practice it, and if you did not already know it to be true. So, again, I can say that there might be something else. And now we're back to this. Okay, nothing of importance right now. So, would you ever use weapons? And no, apparently not. There is seldom the need. I found that I cannot bear the touch of cold iron or even steel for long periods of time. In any event, I have a number of natural defenses that tend to discourage attackers.
Updated my journal.
The kiss of a succubus is lethal to mortals, though they rarely realize the danger until their death is almost upon them. I can resort to it when the need arises. Well, that's fancy. And is there any way that I can read your diary? No. Please, come on. A lady must have her secrets. Okay, fair enough. Say anything more about Ravel, by the way. We already know all about this. Indeed, mazes. We already know about this. Many more about the plane. Plot your plane lies effectively between Bator and the Abyss. Who else would you know? Yes, someone at the Festhall. I already know about that. But did you know about what happened to her? And indeed, nothing new, really. So
Yes.
you apparently then have special abilities. You have sensory touch. The spell can only be used at touch range upon a living creature. Magic resistance doesn't affect it. And it heals 1 to 10 HP of damage on a target, but the caster suffers the same amount of damage. So basically a transfer of health. And we also have the Kiss. Ability drains 1 to 10 hit points from a target and grants them to Grace. Creatures immune to normal weapons are still vulnerable to Grace's Kiss. Well, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. Okay, well, I am nowhere nearer Revel Puzzlewell and where I need to be. I have absolutely no information about where to go from now. I've done, as far as I know, all the things in here, apart from the Under Sigil, but that place is dangerous. We might be able to do something more now that I have a healer, but to be honest, not much. And I like her wings, they are cool. And if we go here, I mean, I have nothing else to go to. I don't know if this is actually gonna open up. If these things open up and there's more to this game, I mean, I'm 20 plus episodes in and apparently I haven't even done half the map. That is gonna be fun. But yeah, the lower ward, I don't really think I have much more in there. We have the Hive, many places here. I don't know where to go. And again, I mean, the quest log doesn't help me. The only thing I got now was to learn the language of the dodecahedron puzzle box. Let's hope it's not Montag. That would be that would be hilarious. And the journal, what did you say here? And this is just an information about that. Well, that is interesting. Torment can drain the life from a victim for some reason that arouses me. I mean, I can't die, right? I'll have to keep that in mind. That's an interesting comment right there. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what to do. And it pains me to say, but I'm probably going to have to actually look this up. Because if I don't, the next episode is just going to be me bumbling about Sigil and not doing, rather not knowing at all what to do. So, sadly, yes. Because, I mean, the only information I have here is that Lothar suggested that the next station of my journey might be to journey to the Festhall, where someone may be able to tell me more to Hag, whom Lothar believes stole my mortality from me. I've done that. I've talked to Quell. I cannot see that there is more that I could talk to Quell about. So it might be that I missed something in that dialogue tree, potentially. If that's the case, I'm happy, because that just means we can go back and talk to him and we're off again. But I might actually have to check this out, which is sad, but, you know, as I said, I don't want to spend an entire episode just fumbling about, so it might have to be that I'm gonna have to do that, so we shall see what I do in the next episode. For now, though, this has been Ghostmat Gaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.